Let's take a look at this photograph. What emotion is this person feeling? When we cross our arms, or we see someone's arms are crossed, are they angry or happy? Sometimes when we cross our arms, we're relaxed. We like to keep our arms this way. But looking at the rest of the body, if the body is stiff, if the facial expression is stiff, is angry, we can tell a relaxed arm crossing from a stiff arm crossing. So take a look at the facial expression and the arms and the entire body. If it's rigid, anger. If it's relaxed, probably not angry. Now look at this picture. How does this person feel? I'm seeing a hand on the face, covering the mouth and the eyes. There's an expression in the eyes. So perhaps this person is thinking really hard about something, trying to solve a problem. It's hard to say. Now looking at the woman in this photo, how is she feeling? Is she comfortable? Is she enjoying her time with this person? I think from the rigid way that she's sitting upright. She's got her hands tucked in her lap. Everything is kind of stiff. I think she's not feeling very comfortable. I think she must be feeling uneasy at this point. She may not know the person to her left very well, and she may be waiting for something and just needs to sit on the bench for a while. But I don't think she feels very comfortable because of the way her hands are sitting on her lap. They're kind of tucked in, and she's stiff, and she's upright, and she's turned away. She's not open. Her body language is not open. Her shoulders aren't back. She's upright and stiff and turned away from the other person. That means she's not feeling very comfortable. Let's talk about adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency tell us how often something happens. So if something never happens, that may not mean that it never, ever, ever, ever happens, but it may mean that it happens once in a blue moon. So it may happen once every long, long time. Okay, so never is at the bottom. Then we have rarely. Okay, rarely is a little bit more often than never, just a little bit. Occasionally, often, sometimes, almost always, always. And again, always doesn't necessarily mean every single time, but it means most of the time. If you were to put percentages on these, always would probably be like 90%, almost always 85%, sometimes. That's more like 50%. Often, it's more like 75%. Occasionally, 45%, rarely, maybe 20%, never, maybe 10%. It's not an exact science, but to give you an idea, that's basically what the frequency of each word is. We're using an adverb of frequency. We're going to put it before the main verb. So we always, adverb, have English lessons. Have is the main verb. Okay. I almost always, adverb, use the internet. Use is the verb. I sometimes, adverb, have, verb, lunch at my job. I often, adverb, travel, main verb, in my job. I occasionally work overtime. I rarely have a coffee break. Our company never makes a profit. I occasionally make personal calls from work. Okay? So if you notice, the words that are in bold are the adverbs of frequency. They tell us how often it happens. And the verbs in red are the main verbs, and they help tell a story. So we might say we have English lessons, but that doesn't really tell us specifically how often we have English lessons. So then, if we add always, we always have English lessons. We know a little bit more about how frequently the English lessons happen. Okay, so we have be verbs where the adverb goes after am, are, is, was, were, and had been. So an example, our secretary is always late. So it switched. Okay, in the last one we saw the bold adverbs came first. Then the red regular verbs came second. Now we're switching. After the be verbs, then we add our adverbs of frequency. Our secretary is verb always, adverb late. Our boss is verb usually, adverb in a bad mood. My coworkers are verb occasionally, adverb efficient. Lunch was verb sometimes, adverb late. Okay? So with be verbs, we have to switch. With negative sentences, the adverb goes between the auxiliary, the helping verb, and the main verb in the middle. Okay? For negative sentences that say like don't, isn't, aren't. Okay? We don't always sit together. So if you look at this sentence, which one is the auxiliary verb? Which one is the adverb? And which is the regular verb? We have all three in all of these sentences. Don't always sit. Don't always sit. Okay. The computer isn't usually very good. They aren't always on time. All right, so now is the time to practice. Fill in the blanks. We put adverbs of frequency, the main verb. We put adverbs of frequency, the verb be, before or after. And for negative sentences, the adverb is and the main verb. Pause the video and practice. Let's review our lesson. Adverbs come before the verb for main verbs, after the verb for be verbs, is, am, and are. They come between the auxiliary and the main verb for negative sentences. Okay? Body language can be open, relaxed, inviting, okay? Or it can be closed. It can be rigid. It can be, so busy. It can be stressed. Okay? Some body language invites conversation, and some body language discourages conversation. Turning away, looking busy, being on the phone. These are ways to discourage conversation. Or being open, having a relaxed look on your face, and not being on the phone invites conversation. Also, venting requests empathy and good listening. So if someone is venting to you, they really just want you to sympathize with them and ask them questions and just kind of be a good listening ear. All right, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.